What's up guys, and it's an absolute pleasure to welcome you back on the channel, and it's a massive day for our first home golf simulator because we finally got a launch monitor that can tell us the distance we're hitting the ball every time. And in a world of rapidly expanding golf technology, it's a breath of fresh air to see something that's small, steady, understated, yet reliable and accurate like the Garmin G80 still holding its own 6 years after it was released way back in 2019. And we've got an action-packed review ahead for you guys today. So let's dive straight in with the unboxing. Let's get it up on the home simulator unit. Let's take it out on the Trackman Range. And finally, let's bring it out on the course to test that GPS functionality. So let's dive straight in. And if you like the content, don't forget to like the video, smash the bell, and subscribe to the channel. It will really help us to grow. So just quickly, for those who don't know, the Garmin G80 is a Doppler radar launch monitor that you can use at home, in the garden with a hitting net, or at a dinosaur driving range that isn't going to track your distances. This one also couples as a GPS device to take on the likes of the Garmin S70 smartwatch or the brand new G20 GPS device from Garmin. You can work on your tempo training and your swing speed training with the Garmin G80, and you can also play virtual rounds on 42,000 courses worldwide, but just don't expect too much. This device can't do everything for $500. And what do we get in the box? So we get the unit, which is about half the size of a phone, and it's so simple to set up and use. You can just rest it on a golf ball next to where you're hitting, just like this. Then you hit the ball and it will give you your distance straight away. Super simple to set up and use. And what do we get in the box? Well, we get the unit, we get the instruction manual, and we get a carrier case that could be good for stopping the unit from getting damaged, and you can clip it onto your belt buckle here or onto your golf bag. We obviously get the charging cable, and then we get a nice little hook here that we can hook it onto our golf bag, and we also get another little clip here as well. So there's 4 different game modes that you can use with the Garmin G80. Now, start a new round is going to activate the GPS device when you arrive at the golf course. We've got warm-up mode, which is going to be just like a driving range, and it's going to cover your carry distance, your carry plus roll, your club head speed, your ball speed. Then it's going to give you a score for your smash factor and your tempo as well. We can do tempo training and swing speed training with this device. And then we've got the target practice, which I'm going to show you in a second on the home golf simulator, where you pick out 3 or more targets and then you get 5 shots each to hit that exact distance, and it gives you points basically on how close you got to the distance each time. Then we've got virtual rounds, which is going to allow you to play a very basic version of their golf simulator software, where you can play any of the 42,000 courses worldwide, but it is very basic and it just kind of feels like you're picking the distance and hitting it. It's not really going to prepare you for playing the course in real life, but still very impressive. Very impressed with all these game modes. Let's get it up onto the home simulator, and we've also been up at the top Trackman Range in the city to see how accurate the device is. And then I was out on the course today actually testing out the GPS functionality versus the S62. Taking a quick look at the tech specs before we get this into action on the home sim. And what you get is a 282 by 470 color touchscreen. It's 1.3 inches wide by 3 inches long. This one's got an IPX7 water rating. If you do live in a rainy area, it gives you 15 hours of battery life, and it connects to the Garmin Golf app through Bluetooth on your phone, which is one of the best features of all Garmin products, and that is also true for the Garmin G80. So I didn't really know what to expect when we got to the Trackman Range, so I just set it up in warm-up or driving range mode, put it down next to the ball and started hitting some shots. And one thing we have to keep in mind is that there's a roll setting on the G80, which I currently have set to the maximum, because in the UK the ball's going to roll out a lot further than it is in Thailand. So I think the roll setting on the Trackman was a lot shorter, and that is more accurate for Thailand. But if we were in UK, then I think the total distances that we were getting would actually have been more accurate on the G80. So I'm going to pop the carry distances that we got, comparing the G80 with the Trackman on the screen now. And I think it's crazy how accurate the G80 is, given the difference in cost between the 2 options. The Trackman Range is going to cost you hundreds of thousands to set up, while the Garmin G80 only costs $500. So if you're in the market for a launch monitor and you're wondering whether the G80 offers good value and good accuracy for the $500, then I think that that's going to answer this question for you. As a launch monitor at home, I think this is as accurate as you can probably get without spending a lot more money. Alright, so the biggest problem that I would have with the Garmin G80 as a GPS device is that I could probably lose this on the way to the course or on the way home or even on the course. You see, with the S62, I know it's on my wrist all the time from when I leave my house until when I get home. Then I can just throw it down on the table and it's just there ready to go for the next time. While the G80 presents one more thing that you have to be worried about losing while you're on the course. With that being said, I take the G80 over a golf watch from almost any other brand 95% of the time, and we really are spoiled for choice with Garmin. And if I was using this as my GPS device full time, I'd probably get that belt clip going, or I'd get a cart magnet so I could hang it on the cart and not have to worry about losing it. So what I really like about the S62 over the G80 is the auto shot feature. I just take a shot and then it prompts me to put in the club that I hit, and then it takes all that data, that rich data, brings it back onto the Garmin Golf app, which is super handy to go through. And when you get to the green, it asks you to put in how many shots that you hit, and it has all that data as well. One thing that's good about the Garmin G80 is it has a much bigger screen, so it's much easier to navigate around, especially when I want to find the distance to any point on the course. The Garmin G80 is a good bit better. It's just more intuitive to use, the navigation is better, and obviously the screen is smaller on the S62. It's more handy, but the G80 is better for navigation. And what do they both have? So they both have a pinpointer that's going to point to the center of the green in case you get blocked out. They've both got a plays-like feature for your slope adjusted distances, but they've also got tournament mode, so you can play tournaments and not have to worry about breaking the rules. We've got scorecards with both of them. We can put the flag at any point on the green with both of them as well. And the bigger screen is an advantage for the G80. We're getting more distances popping up on the screen as well, so it's got richer information. And we've got big numbers mode as well, so you can just put it on and you can see the numbers from anywhere, or if you're visually impaired, or you could clip it on to the cart and you can see the numbers more easily. And there's only a couple of GPS watches that are better than this in the entire world, and that's probably the S62 and the S70. So if you want a launch monitor with a GPS, this is highly accurate and it's good to go. And if you don't want to buy two premium devices and you need the launch monitor, the G80, I probably would actually recommend it. I know that's a small subsection of the golfing community, but still this does represent very good value for money for what you're getting. An accurate launch monitor, a virtual simulator, and one of the best GPS devices in the game. So for me, I'm lucky that I have both of the devices, so I probably will continue to use the S62 on the course because it tracks the data better and it's just more handy. But if I didn't have this, then I probably wouldn't even play golf on a course without something like the G80 to show me the distances to any point on the course, and more importantly to the front, middle and the back of the green. Because if you want to improve at golf, you got to know how far you hit each club, and you got to know the distance that you're actually going to have to hit for your next shot as well. And as a launch monitor / simulator, would I be rushing out to get the R50 to replace the Garmin G80? And absolutely not. I'm happy to mess around with this at home and just know the distance that I'm hitting the ball when I'm flicking my wedges or hitting my short irons. And then if I want to actually get better, I'm actually going to go out onto the course, you know, where the lie angle is different, your feet are going to be above and below the ball. There's all different types of grass. The greens have different speeds and all that kind of stuff. So if you want to get better at golf, then this will help, but actually going out and playing golf is obviously going to be the best thing that you can do. That being said, they said a launch monitor is going to make you elite from 100 yards in, and that's exactly what I've been using this for, to really dial in my wedges and to know in my head and with my body how I have to perform to hit it 50 yards, 75 yards or 100 yards. Pros of this device, it does everything in one device. It's very good value for money. The features are some of the best in the world. And then the cons, it's probably easy to lose the device. It's not going to be as accurate as some of the more expensive devices. It's a bit of a stretch to call it a virtual simulator, but overall I'm very impressed with this device and I'd give it a score of 98 out of 100. This one is 6 years old, so it's probably next in line to be replaced by Garmin, and I can imagine what they're going to come out with next to replace this. I think it's going to be one of the best devices in the entire game of golf. So that wraps up our review for today. Don't forget to like the button, smash the bell and subscribe to the channel, and we will see you on the next one. Peace.